It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, on today's episode, we are returning to the Ayreon universe. We have not been in this universe for quite some time, but I've been thinking about Ayreon and I've been thinking about Ayreon this past month, and there's a few reasons why I have had them on my mind. I talked with Ayreon last month as he was preparing for a big weekend of Ayreon shows, and he was releasing his latest solo album. It was a very fun interview, and I got to listen to some of his new music. It was very, very enjoyable. I encourage you to take a look at that interview if you would like. And during our conversation, we were chatting a little bit before the interview started, and he mentioned that in addition to being very busy with the upcoming concert and all the details that he had to manage and all of that, that he was quite sad because his longtime friend and Ayreon collaborator Edward Reekers was quite ill at the time. And sadly, on October 7th, just earlier this month, Ed lost his battle with cancer. And since then, I've received many notes from Ayreon fans asking me to spend a few minutes remembering and lifting up Ed and his musical contributions. So today we are celebrating the music of Ayreon. We are also paying tribute to Edward Reekers, and I'm happy that you are here for this episode. So to prepare for this, I went to my big master list to see what selections from Ayreon were on it. My master list is comprised of about 300 songs and albums currently that I have officially put on my radar for upcoming videos. And those come directly from the suggestions and submissions of our viewers and our patrons. And I thank you very much for sending those in. And as I consulted our master list, I saw that the Valley of the Queens has been suggested for me to listen to, and it's been on the list for quite a long time. So I checked it out, and come to find out, the version of this, the live version that was suggested to me, features Floor Jansen, Annika van Giersbergen, and Marcella Bovio. And that's all I needed to say, yeah, I'm going to listen to that, y'all. Plus, it's a really short song. It's less than 3 minutes. So here's the plan, y'all. We're going to start with listening to Valley of the Queens, and we're going to celebrate a little bit of Ayreon music that way. We'll then go to a song called Computer Eyes that Edward sings. And then finally, y'all, if you will allow, I am going to include a song by the Dutch band Kayak called Ruthless Queen, which also features Ed on vocals. It goes back to a little bit earlier in Edward's career, and I think it would be fun to hear him singing that song as well. So let's get to it, y'all. Get my headphones on. We start off with Valley of the Queens, and this is a song from the album The Electric Castle, which was a double album from 1998 that was the third Ayreon offering. And as I mentioned, this is a live recording, and we've got Annika van Giersbergen, who I've heard and seen with The Gathering. I've also seen her with Devin Townsend. Floor Jansen, who I know very well from Nightwish, and Marcella Bovio, who I believe is from Mexico, and she also sings with Stream of Passion, which is another one of Ayreon's projects. So I am very eager to hear this relatively short tune with these three vocalists. So let's do it. This is Valley of the Queens from Ayreon. Here we go. Lovely. They're in A minor. Flat 6, flat 7, 1 in A minor. This is beautiful, y'all. Love that cello in there too. Resolves to relative major. He's hinting at a couple different key areas. I'm curious to where he's going to land. He ends up going back to A minor. That was lovely. Lovely. Their voices sound very, very good together, obviously, right? That was wonderful. But the thing that I really liked about it was that you could hear each of their individual colors as well. And they just kind of fit together, didn't they? That was so lovely. A ballad, kind of a Celtic-inspired ballad. I love the flute, that straight-on flute that he was playing, the cello adding there, and the acoustic guitars, and 3 fantastic female singers. You can't get any better than that, can you? Man, I should have listened to that years ago, y'all. It's been too long. It's been too long. So I'm happy to include Valley of the Queens here in this video today. That was lovely. So let's go on to a song called Computer Eyes. We're moving back an album, back to the second Ayreon album called Actual Fantasy for this song. And as I read, this album didn't have an overarching narrative concept like much of the others. Rather, it draws on some science fiction, some fantasy, and some original stories. And Ayreon, I believe, wrote the story that is behind this particular song. Apparently, we are in a situation where doctors are trying to help a girl who is in a coma. And she, meanwhile, is kind of hallucinating and fantasizing about this stranger who comes to her and tells her that she might be able to cure herself with her own imagination. And it seems like it's a real give and take between reality and hallucination, reality and the imagination of the mind, and the give and take from that. And Edward sings predominantly in this one. So let's go to this one. This is a live performance. I wanted to grab a live performance so that I could see Ed and see what this is all about. So let's watch Computer Eyes by Ayreon. Here we go. I always find Ayreon's music so melodic. He's not afraid to give us really lovely melodies, is he? This is also an A minor. The minor 5. That's the D. Are they an A minor or E minor? E minor. Cadence is an E.
Lost in a world created by man. I can't recall how it all began. Tell me who am I?
I like his voice.
Fictional stars in lost galaxies, synthetic dreams and false memories. Is this all a lie?
It's very easy to understand him, his diction. He's got an ease.
There's no escape. There's no way out of here. I'm locked in this universe where fantasy dies, materialize, computerized.
This is lovely. To the 4. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-da-dun, dun, 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 dun. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-da-dun, dun, 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 dun. There's no escape. I'm locked in this universe where fantasy dies. They sang. Check it. Virtual reality.
Actual fantasy locked away inside. No more data program, an artificial dream.
I didn't catch who was singing with him.
Parallel dimension, battle simulations, mind over matter, brain stimulation.
So it's back and forth. Parallel dimension, battle simulations, mind over matter. It sounds like flat 6, flat 7, 1. But it goes back to the 4. Then it finishes flat 6, flat 7, 1 in E minor. He's got a great, easy to listen to voice, doesn't he? It's one of those voices that I could see being really effective in musical theater. You know? It's got a lot of color. You can understand his diction. You can understand what he's singing. And it's got a flair. It's got something that really draws you in, doesn't it? And his presence on stage was quite wonderful as well, wasn't it? I think that was recorded 7 or 8 years ago, y'all. So let's go back and hear and see what Ed was up to earlier in his career. So as I let people in the community know that I was planning on doing this, I got a few notes from folks. They always want to help out, which is great. And they said, Ed was also the singer of this great band, Kayak, and it would be cool if you included some of their music as well. So Kayak, they formed in the Netherlands in 1972. And as I understand it, one of their biggest singles was a song called Ruthless Queen, which came from their 6th album called Phantom of the Night. That was released in 1978. And that's the one that I want to listen to, y'all. I found a live performance of this that was broadcast on February 24th, 1979 on the Avrotos channel in the Netherlands. And I'm eager to hear it. I'm eager to see it. So let's get to it. Edward is our lead vocalist. We've got Johan Slager on guitar. Good Lord. Scherpenzeel on keyboards. Peter Scherpenzeel on bass. Max Werner on drums. Catherine Lapthorne and Irene Linders are on backing vocals. So let's see what Kayak is like, y'all. This is Ruthless Queen, performed back in 1979. Here we go.
With a quivering voice,
Is that him?
you spoke the word. Shadow came between us, sharp as a sword. Gone is my gladness and vanished my pride. 'Cause love didn't stay on our side.
So they're in F major.
Wrapped in luxury, I cried for the moon, but the game is up. It all ended too soon. Awakening came as a bell from the blue. At last, rumors seemed to be true.
It's a tonicization of the relative minor, but they stay in the major key.
Oh, my ruthless queen.
Oh, my ruthless queen,
You were still the treasure of my dream.
you're the treasure of my dream.
Twinkle in your eyes that took me by surprise. Oh, my ruthless queen, I just can't accept our love as being.
I just can't accept our love has been. It's in the past. So it's a relationship that's gone wrong, and he's still in love and he can't accept that it's over. What a beautiful tune this is.
I bear you no malice.
There you know malice.
Show no remorse. Love is dead and gone. It was no endless source. Your sudden leave was the finishing stroke.
It's a sad tune. But the song, the music is warm and melodious. It doesn't sound necessarily sad, but you can hear the longing in his voice.
It's the twinkle in your eyes that took me by surprise. Oh, my ruthless queen, I just can't accept our love has been. Please don't tell me you couldn't care less when I feel like a ship in distress.
Please don't tell me you couldn't care less when I feel like a ship in distress.
I just can't accept our love has I can't bear to see you go, but it's all part of the show you perform. Letting romance fade little by little, all of us precious but too brittle.
Nice. To the 4.
Oh, my ruthless queen, you are still the treasure of my dreams.
F over A. There's the G minor to the C.
Took me by surprise. Oh,
and it resolves into the relative minor key. They've been in F the whole time, and they've hinted at D minor, and that's where they ended up cadencing there at the very end. Y'all, that's a great song. I remember, growing up, we'd have all the array of radio stations. You've got your news channel, you've got your country station, you got your rock station, you got your top 40 station, you got your oldies station and all this. You got your light station, and back home it was Light 96, and they played all of the great lighter songs. And this could have really fit into that. I've never heard it, obviously, but that could have been a real contender, a real player amongst all of these great other songs that have that sentimental vocal led quality to them, with beautiful added singers that are lending their voices, and the harmonic sensibilities are all filling in and just lifting up the song. That was great. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I included the earlier stuff, because to hear his voice as a younger person, it's just a clarion instrument. And I read about, Ayreon, growing up in the Netherlands. He was a fan. And when he starts to, look for really great vocalists to help him out with his projects, he's like, well, Ed wouldn't do it, but well, maybe he would. So I'll write to him and ask. And Ed says, sure. Ayreon's new on the block, and Ed, with these with years and years and years of experience and notoriety, says, yes, I'll help you, and become a collaborator, and became the voice of Ayreon for a lot of these projects. And so, it's understandable that when I was talking with Ayreon in the weeks leading up to when Ed passed, he was struggling with it. And I'm sure that he's still struggling with it. And it's a profound loss for the Ayreon community, for our friend Ayreon, and for the wider music community. We've had many great musicians of the past few generations leave us recently. And I wanted to take this time today to spend some time with music from the Ayreon universe, and I wanted to learn more about Edward, really based on his impact on Ayreon. I saw just how much Ayreon loved Ed, and when you witness that kind of connection, that real connection that people have, and when I respect the musicianship and the humanity of a person like Ayreon, I'm curious, and I want to investigate more and learn more about the object of that affection. And it was lovely for me today to spend some time with Edward and his music. So rest in peace, Edward. I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to know more about Ed as he was alive, but that's a voice I want to keep listening to. So I'm going to continue to seek out his recordings and spend some time with the music that he has left for us. So rest in peace, Ed, and thank you to Ayreon and all of the musicians and fans of Ayreon for supporting the channel, for hanging out with me today. It was cathartic for me to do this. I hope it was for you as well. We've been lifting up vocalist Edward Reekers and listening to music from the Ayreon universe. Thanks y'all for being with me today. I thank you very much. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.